And we're live now, ladies.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome.
Hey y'all.
Hello.
Welcome to Scissor Me Timbers, episode 44. It feels like we've done way more than that, but it's 44.
That's crazy.
It's because we
Yes.
did, and plus, like, we knocked a lot out summer of 2022, me and Alice. You remember that?
Yes.
Anyways, I'm Forest Mommy here with Alice. Alice always, CD, and Lady Liberty. Kate came on. She's from Australia, and we figured it out. They didn't work.
Good
All right.
morning. I'm from the future. It's Friday morning here in Western Australia. The future is not bright if you value liberty. I'm just saying. It's not very bright.
Oh Lord, yeah. The last time I talked to you, Kate, you were in Vegas, so it was way
I
easier
know.
to coordinate. We can figure. That's only an hour difference. I had that one down pat.
I'm coming to Vegas for your 40th next year, Forest Mummy.
Yeah,
I
we
have,
need to just plan it. We need to
yeah,
just figure we're gonna do it. May. It'll be May of 2024, sometime
yeah.
in May. Figure out a
Bring it
date.
on. Can't wait.
All right. That would
Hot
be so
summer
fun.
in Vegas. Let's go.
Yeah. Oh, I'm Paul in the chat asking Kate and how single is she? Paul, you know. Anyways, I don't know. Do you want to introduce yourself a little, Kate? Because we're on here with these yahoos all the time, so they know us. So
Oh, well, I'm Lady Liberty Australia. I've run as a libertarian candidate before for the party down here, hence my Don't Tread on Me flag, which is the Western Australian black swan. But I'm not involved in politics anymore. I'm just out here like doing what I can to promote libertarian principles, trying to educate Australians because we don't really understand or value liberty. We don't have any rights like you guys. We don't have a Bill of Rights. We are very oppressed here. If you didn't realize during COVID how bad it got with our COVID camps and our forced vaccination and all of that crazy shit. And I'm also a shooter, so I'm like pro-gun. We don't have a Second Amendment here either, so we have the most restrictive laws in the world. So I'm trying to change that slowly. Just doing what I can to further the cause of liberty.
well, yes, I'm glad we. I mean, that's been the silver lining of COVID was just like all the different people we got to meet through it, right? That actually
Definitely.
like, value value freedom and stuff.
Mm.
But
100.
but what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and so you were out that you came out here like as soon as you could that time. Can you do you remember
Yeah.
when did it open up again for there?
So in my state of Western Australia, our border was actually closed or controlled for 2.5 years. But I couldn't travel within my own country across the border to see my family in South Australia for 2.5 years. It was crazy. At one stage, WA was the only nation in the world, like state closed apart from North Korea. Like it was crazy what they did here in my state. So as soon as I finished my Senate campaign and as soon as our border opened, I went over to the United States and traveled around. I love your country so much. I really want to move there. So if anyone wants to give me a job, I'm not going to marry any of you. I really want to come out there on my own accord. I just want to make that clear. Even though I am single, Paul, I think you asked earlier. Yeah, I need to get out of Australia for a while. I just feel like it's not changing for the better. It's getting worse. And I feel like Australians don't value freedom or liberty like Americans do. So I kind of want to bring the idea of liberty back to my country when they're ready for it. But it's a long road here in Australia.
Crazy.
Hmm.
Oh, you're muted, CD. You're muted.
Sorry. It's crazy how the Australians used COVID like America used 9/11. So like America used 9/11 for like the Patriot Act and to just make everything as far as like privacy, liberty, they made it really, really hard. And we're still seeing those ramifications today. And Australia used COVID like that because they said, "Oh, it's all temporary," just like they told us. That's how we knew this is not temporary. Like there's no way. So and then making friends with a lot of Australians during COVID. God bless them. In fact, I was thinking it's so crazy you're on because I was thinking about one the other day and I was just, wow, I hope he's okay. And but I met so many and I
one
learned
of
it.
them Australians.
Yeah. Well, I won't name drop. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. I'm not gonna name drop, but yeah. And I just remember like, oh my God, like guys, and then yes, and then how many Australians just drank that Kool-Aid, just like we just need to do this, and if you don't do this, then you are a bad person, and like the videos that came out of the grocery store rule, that was so crazy to me. So you can probably explain it better, but basically a lot of people ended up moving into households, like consolidating, like older grandparents and stuff, because it was just too hard to live alone. And so but one of the rules was like only one person from that household could go to the grocery store a day, which doesn't sound like that big of a deal. But when you have 6 or 7 people living in a house because they've all come together because they can't legally go to another person's house, right? So like if you have an elder mom or dad that you need to help, you can't go to their house. So anyway, so let's say that you needed to go to the grocery store after work, but your live-in mom or mother-in-law had like gone to pick up prescriptions or something at the same store. There's a QR code they had to scan. And if they caught you like not scanning it, or if 2 people from the same household scanned it, cops came to your door. It was insane. It was so crazy. And yeah, and then to know that like, and to learn about Australia's, I mean, gun law, it's like a negative gun law. Like it's so it's like negative gun laws. Like it's a net -5. And yeah, it was so crazy, Kate. Golly.
It was a crazy time. Like in my state, they mandated 75% of the workforce to have 3 injections to be considered fully vaccinated. They brought in vaccine passports to even buy alcohol. So even drive-through bottle-os, you couldn't buy alcohol unless you had 3 injections. Like, I'm not even joking. They went crazy in this state. They're even going crazy now with gun laws. They're trying to limit how many guns we can own. So they're saying if you're a hunter, you can only own 5 guns. And if you're a competition shooter, you can only own 10. Like, they're actually bringing in arbitrary limits on the number of legal firearms we can own in WA. Like, this state has just gone so far, like, tyrannical. And I ran for office because I saw it coming. Like, I value liberty so much from a gun perspective, because that's how I came into the libertarian philosophy, was actually through gun rights, which is pretty based, I know. But Australians just don't get it. And I would have thought after COVID, like, there are a few people, but we're so apathetic. We're so like, oh, she'll be right. Like, oh, the government's not that bad. Oh, but now I think people, maybe they're waking up, maybe, but it's still pretty grim. So they've just brought in the digital ID at a federal government level. So we're bringing in digital ID in Australia. Misinformation bill, like that. Yeah, that's me. My taxes theft dress. I know Kennedy did one too, which was so cool to see. So I just do what I can to try and like educate Australians, and I'll do like all sorts of crazy shit.
Love it.
Haven't done a nude photo like Forest Mummy. I'm not as like cool as Forest Mummy. She's like, unmute yourself, Belle.
I save it for the 40th party, and we'll be in Vegas, and we'll take hot gun pics and shit out there.
Oh my God, yeah. I want to go back to Battlefield Vegas. I posted a pic on Twitter of me with that big tank. I want to go out and like fire from the tank. Like, see, I'm an American woman trapped in an Australian body. Seriously.
We'll get it. We'll change it.
Do you know
yes,
that?
I follow Andrew Bogut. Yes, yeah, he's a legend. So he's Australian. We love our sport.
Well, so it's Crocodile Dundee, but you know. Sorry.
The American is showing
bad jokes lately. Like, I've just been on a roll.
Killing it. Absolutely killing it. And you're hot, so there you go.
Thanks.
So, Forrest Mummy, did you get elected? How did your campaign go? Are you elected?
I did not get elected, but it's okay.
You got 4,700 votes.
Yeah, I got 47. I got 4,697 votes. So I still I have to show up for those people. So I'm gonna show up to more meetings in person and be like, I'm the citizen rep for those people. So, but so yeah, it was 37.5% of the vote, which I'm like, that ain't bad. He's incumbent, and like, I came out of nowhere, so
Yeah.
it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I'm glad I went through the experience. I'm glad, like, it could have gone either way, and I'm glad I did. But everyone now is like, you have to keep running. And I'm like,
You don't, but you
no.
don't. I'm just
Yeah.
letting you know.
Yeah.
No.
I like Kate. I like that Kate ran and she's like, I didn't win, and so like now I'm just doing what I can, and I think that's great. That she's our friend and she's doing the same thing, and you can take those 4,700 votes and just run with it in a different direction. That
Yeah.
is in a campaign. Being a candidate is it's hard and it sucks and it's not fun. It is not fun. It's not fun. Managing campaigns is really fun. Being the manager, being the brains behind it all, being the person behind the curtain, the brain and the talking head, the person in the microphone in the earpiece, dude, that's where it's at. It's so fun. I've never been a candidate. I'll never be a candidate, but I will manage a campaign all day long.
Yeah, people
It's
who
so
love
fun.
that shit love that shit. Now
It's
I'm
so
like, I
fun.
kind of do a little bit but I want to help them from a more like administrative type. Like that'll be how I help people, like the actual like filing the things and all that stuff. So and doing
Which is
the financing.
yeah. That's huge. And a lot of people need that kind of help because they don't, I mean, that's where you cross your I's and dot your T's. And if you do it wrong, you're out. Like it doesn't matter. So,
We've been having great comments over here. Sorry, I
oh,
gotta
yeah.
First of all, we gotta say
Interrupt.
hi, everybody in the chats. Thank you for hanging with us. Yeah, if you have questions for Kate too in Australia, especially I know most of you guys are gun people. I'm sure. I know she's explained it. You've probably explained it a million times the way it all works down there, but you could probably do it again another time. So,
Yeah, try being a candidate like in Australia as a libertarian when they don't even really know what that means. And then you're promoting gun rights and they're like, wait, we don't have any guns. It's like, catch up, people. Like, this is why we've lost our freedoms. They locked us in our homes. They closed our borders. Now they're bringing all this crazy shit. Like, it might have something to do with the fact we gave up our guns in 1996. I don't know. Maybe they'll get there one day, like slowly.
well, what's his name? Bruce Centris.
Yeah, he's a legend.
When he said like he back in the day was like didn't really think about the gun bans and giving up guns, and then COVID happened and he was like, oh, I understand now. So
yeah.
So you know a lot. Do you know more? Is there more people like that kind of woke up?
Well, I think because what they're doing in like our state, Western Australia, with the gun laws at the moment, because we're basically a one-party state. We have one party in charge of running the whole show because we voted like majority. It's basically the Democrats are running this state, if I could compare it to American politics. So we have like a far left, like fascist government in charge, and they're bringing in the gun law. So I think, maybe like the pendulum will swing the hardest here, like in Argentina. It'll swing back to freedom, but I feel like there's
Maybe
a lot more.
You're the next Javier. Maybe it's you.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a woman.
It's going to be you. Just throwing that out there.
I've got a lot of growing and learning to do. That's why I want to come to your country so I can bring freedom back to my country. Let's go. Forrest, when you guys are going to come visit. Like, the border's open now. You don't need to have 3, 4, 5 injections to come here. Just got to be aware of all like the black bears and crazy animals we have.
I'm scared to even go to Canada.
But Canada was crazy too. Like Trudeau, like Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and England, they were like the worst in terms of COVID response, in terms of civil liberties. Like, we were meant to be liberal democratic nations and we just went full like fascio. It was crazy. Terrible.
Yeah, you don't need to be vaxxed to go into Canada anymore. So I started looking at passports for us to go to Canada. We just want to go to the Niagara Falls side because I want my kids to see some stuff over there. And it still just makes me nervous. I'm like, all I would do is cross a bridge, go there for like 3 hours and come back home, but I'm terrified.
Well, I actually went to Niagara Falls last year when I visited America. And to get to the Canadian side, because I went to the border and said I want to see it from the other side, they said I had to download a government app, upload my proof of vaccination, and then wear a mask the whole time, even on like the boat to go under the fall. So I was on the American side on the boat, and we would go past the Canadian boats, and they were all wearing masks. It was just insane.
They were wearing masks on the Maid of the Mist.
It was crazy. The Maid of the Mist on the Canadian boats and the American boats were all
You're
like
just inhaling water through a
it
cloth.
was crazy. It was insane. Like I did a video about it because I just could not believe that was the kind of clown world happening there.
What did you think of the boat?
I loved it. It was beautiful. Niagara
really-
Falls was, yeah, it's really
It's
pretty.
really cool.
Yeah.
When it's a little terrifying on the boat, I think. My husband, because I've been going there my whole life. My husband and I went there on our honeymoon, and we get on the boat, and it's his first time on the Maid of the Mist. I've been on this thing, I can't even count how many times, and every time I love it, but I'm terrified at the same time. Like I just feel like we're this tiny little boat compared to these huge falls. And my husband goes right up to the front of the boat. He's like, oh my God, this is so awesome. And he turns to talk to me, and I'm not there. I'm behind him, hanging on to a pole for dear life. And he's like, I thought you liked this thing. And I'm like, I do. I'm fine. This is how I ride it.
I'm Australian. I'll jump out of the helicopter. I'll go down anywhere. We love all that crazy shit here. Mad Max style.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive I go on that because I'm terrified of water that I can't see the bottom. I'm terrified to go out on a boat like that. Like I'll go out on a pontoon, like on a little lake or something. That's okay. I can do that. But to be on a boat like that is crazy for me to do. But it's such an incredible experience. And it's something I can't pass up doing. Did you go on the Cave of the Winds too?
Yes.
Where you like walk down by the
Yeah.
falls. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
That's
awesome.
crazy. And it's so insane to feel Mother Nature in that way. Like I tell people it's a pretty spiritual experience to go there, and they're kind of like, yeah, whatever. And I'm like, but it really is when you feel the power of those falls.
Yeah.
And I haven't fell once on that thing, and I'm impressed.
Yeah, it is pretty risky, like and slippery. I also found like Grand Canyon was very spiritual for me. Kind of reminded me when I went to Uluru, which is like Ayers Rock here, the big rock in the middle of the desert in Australia. That to me was very spiritual, like Grand Canyon, like Mother Nature, like you said. It's just incredible. Yeah.
Wasn't there like the Rescuers Down Under? Wasn't that rock in that movie? Do you guys remember what I'm talking about? I swear there's Rescuers Down Under, and it's the big rock that's just like in the middle, right? I mean, this is a cartoon rendition of it.
Yeah, that's Ayers Rock, or Uluru is its indigenous name. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you talking about? Grand Canyon is amazing. I actually was there like almost a year ago exactly. It's like, and then the day I was there, it was, or the like third day, it had started snowing, and it was so foggy, and so you couldn't see across it at all. It was like almost eerie because you know how big it is because you were there. You know, you see it, and then I was like, oh. Then I'm like, maybe it's a green screen. They're changing like the green screen because it just looks so fake. It's so amazing that it just looks like it's so fake when you look at it. So, oh, see, Daniel, he always backs me up. Daniel says it was Rescuers Down Under. He just watched it recently. God bless you, Daniel.
I love him. He's the best. I hope he comes here one day.
That'll be sweet. So what's next? So do you have any elections coming up soon in Australia or?
Not till 2025.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I want to be out of here by then. Like I can't, especially this state. Like I want to do one more summer. Like it's hot girl summer here now. We just had like our first heat wave, so it's like 10 days above 30 something degrees Celsius. I don't know the comparison, but it was really hot for 10 days.
That means it's really hot. That just means it's really hot.
Yeah. So I want to do one more summer in Western Australia, and then I'm out. Like, I want to come over to the States and travel around. I want to go to Pork Fest. So I want to go to New Hampshire for that next year. That's the plan. Yeah, are you guys going to be there?
I don't know if I've planned the next one. I don't know. Although I'm not going to the national convention, so maybe
Pork Fest is a long ways away. It's just like not like time, like just like geographically, it's really hard to get there. Frankly, I wish that it was like a little bit. I mean, I know there's going to be a bunch of people that are really mad at me, but I just wish that it was easier to get to.
I know. Make it like easy to get to for us, and we'll show up to more shit. Okay?
I would, but like I'm just saying, like I mean, and maybe they don't want me there. That's probably why they do it. They're like, oh yeah, I'm just. You have to fly into this tiny airport, and then you have to drive like 3 hours, and it just. I've mapped it out, and people are like, yeah, you have to fly to this airport, and then you have to drive, and unless you have like a group or someone to like ride with to like get there, it's just a long haul. It's just a long haul to like get up there. And
well, she's gonna be coming from Australia. I think.
I mean, it would be way worth it for you to go. It would 100. Yeah, I'm not trying to dissuade. I'm not trying to dissuade Kate from going or anyone from going. I'm just saying.
I totally know what you're talking about. Though,
from sunny Central Florida, it's just hard to justify like getting up there. And it's like, oh, it's in the at this time of the year, it's like, oh, but like the beach is so perfect, and I'm like, this is all I want to do. So, but yes, not dissuading anyone from going. And if you can make the trek, and maybe if someone wants to hook up with Duke and I to be able to go, because I'm not camping. Like I have to have a hotel room. I'm not, and I'm not going to that part of the.
Very nice RV, a very very nice.
That
RV.
is what I'm screaming right there. That's what I'm talking about.
But that
right
kind
there.
of camping,
yeah, that kind of camping.
But that whole thing, when I'm around people, I gotta have I'm gonna have to like do this all up.
Right. I can't just walk around like. So no, I have to have a mirror and a shower and a toilet with toilet paper and a bed. So I just, you know what I mean? I'm just not camping. That's not happening.
Maybe it'll work out sometime. Yeah, someone.
Yeah, but Kate, you should go. And a lot of people go, and every year more people go. And it's definitely the place to be if you're a libertarian.
Paul in the chat said, "Wait, what did she say about hooking up with her and Duke?" And then Ben's in the chat too, saying Lady Liberty going to be at the emo hub for the entire week. So he's got it all planned out for you.
There you go. You've got someone. There you go. You've got people.
Yeah, the lads are going to look after me, and my mates on Punk Rock Libertarians. I'm so embarrassed. Like the Spotify Wrapped came out yesterday, and my most listened to podcast was Punk Rock Libertarian. So I know it's so sad, but I like miss those guys so much. I listen to them when I go for my little walks, and think I'm going on their Christmas show. So
nice.
Yeah,
the punk rock guys, did you say?
Yeah,
the Maryland boys. Yeah, they're awesome. I like them.
They're awesome.
They're cool peeps.
What else?
So, Forest Mommy, when's your next hot thirst trap?
I don't know. It's not like in the next couple of days. That's for thing, I'm sure. But maybe after that. I've been spending more time down at the forest property, and that's always a great spot for more thirst, for like natural thirst traps. So make it work.
I've got to come up to Colorado and visit you. I haven't been to that state yet. I flew through the airport on the way up to Ohio, I think, or I can't remember, but I haven't been out and seen Colorado. So I've got to come visit you and see more of your beautiful painting.
Come on out. It's beautiful out here. I love being tour guide for people and taking people around. So There's time. CD was just out here. Got to meet her.
Yeah.
How are you
That was
doing,
cool.
CD? By the way.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I make 150 days on Tuesday, so that's 5 months.
5 months
Uh,
sober.
5 months
That's
sober.
huge.
Yeah. Yeah. So almost I'll be 6 months on January 4th. And so that'll be like a cool New Year thing.
Just celebrate it by popping some bottle. Oh wait, no, that's not what you do. You don't do that.
No, hey, you know what? I've been like shopping and Duke is so
Oh, you have all the
supportive,
good
and
fake
like
mocktail stuff,
I
right?
do have all the good fake mocktail stuff. So I can make the next one is apple teenies because I love apple teenies. And so it's a faux fall apple teenie. So it's not with that green crap. It's like apple cider and it's like real apple. So that's the next jam. And but yeah, so almost there. Yeah, Thanksgiving was really hard. Thanksgiving was hard. I'm not even gonna lie. Like Thanksgiving was hard. It was my first sober Thanksgiving, and so um I just really wanted wine. Like they started talking about wine, and then they started talking about like my family had all these like fancy bottles of like limited blah blah blah, and I was just like I don't want to be drunk. Like I don't want to drink alcohol. I just want a glass of wine. Like I just want like church wine, but I don't want church wine. Like, you know, so it was funny, but thank God for Duke and my family who were super supportive and snapped me out of it. And, it was all good. But I mean, yeah, I think it's important sobers talk about when, it's not always, easy. It's not easy, especially in these first few months. It's all new, right? It's just new. So it was good, but it ended up being a great day. My cousin is super smart. He's the smartest of all of us, and he invented a game, like a like a like a magic type game with cards and stuff. And he's like got his own artwork and he goes to conventions and people play this. I'm a nerd. I'm not that nerdy. I wouldn't know. But anyway, he had the game, so we as a family got to play it. That was really cool. That was really
That's
cool.
fun. We got
It was fun.
Bones of Whiskin in the chat says he's 10 years. Keep it up. 10
Aw,
years.
thanks, guys.
Then
I know.
A-Dub says 4 years, 4 months, and 9 days of being boring. You're always probably boring. I bet you were even more
I
boring
am
when you were drunk.
I am sober, not
Okay.
boring. I am not boring.
Yeah.
I am just no, I am
CD
I'm
is
better.
definitely not boring.
I am not boring. I have a sticker. I have that sticker somewhere that says sober, not boring. Like yeah. It just in fact I think I'm more sparkly when I'm not drinking. So for sure.
Yeah, I was
But
drinking like
anyway.
a week and I felt great. Like, oh.
Hey man, some people can, I can't. That's totally okay. But yeah, that's cool. And yeah, how was everyone's thing? So okay, Kate, do you know what Thanksgiving is?
Yeah, I kind of like understand it. Not really. We don't do that here. Like we had
It's
Black
okay.
Friday sales.
Oh, that's good. Well, that's solid.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
kind of like it was just an excuse for them to like make money and print more money. Like seriously, like everyone's going broke, but everyone went crazy over the Black Friday sales. Like it's just a distraction.
Yes.
But yeah, happy Thanksgiving. I don't
Oh,
really
well, thank you.
understand.
Well, it's okay. Most Americans don't understand it. They think it has something to do with Indians and pilgrims and Christopher Columbus and it no one here really understands it either, and that's okay. It's really
I don't
just
even celebrate it anymore.
yeah. I mean, like I said, some people, it's very convoluted as to what Thanksgiving or where it started. Because we were little kids, we were taught that the Pilgrims and the Indians came together and they were friends now, and they shared corn and beans. And because the Indians
A-Dub says Thanksgiving is a celebration of gluttony and domestic abuse.
Yes, it is. That is what I'm getting at. What we are taught as kids is not the truth. In fact, Kate, we put on as little kids, we put on like Thanksgiving plays. I'm not shitting you, okay? Like like people, little kids dress up as the Pilgrims and the Indians,
I'm
and
having flashbacks of my childhood and horrible.
Sacagawea and John Smith and Pocahontas and Christopher Columbus all come together and sit down and have a meal.
Is
And
this just government propaganda, or did this actually happen?
Love TT.
it did not
Well,
actually
there's
happen
usually,
because
like,
those
a
people
whole
did not
Christian
exist in the
meaning
same time.
behind it.
Okay.
Like depending on what Christian church you go to, you'll learn a whole different
Whoa.
like I was raised Catholic, but I went to a friend's church for
TT.
like
Thank
Thanksgiving
you, TT.
Christian, and there's a whole other
You don't have to do that.
thing to it.
Yes, no, Alice is
I don't
completely right.
celebrate that one, though. Well, we go to Niagara Falls for Thanksgiving, and I made turkey wraps that had cranberry sauce on them, so I kind of ate some of the Thanksgiving foods.
There you go. Yes, so Kate, we have like these what's the last name? Kamikaze.
I see the White House has something to do with the Thanksgiving turkey gets forgiven or something crazy. That was weird to me. They have like a
Yes.
turkey
Oh,
that
it's so stupid. Yeah, they
Again.
pardon the turkey from death, and then they just kill it next Thanksgiving.
They kill it
when
they
it's a
kill it the
little
next
fatter.
it's a bit sinister.
Yes. Yes. Yes, Kate. Thank you for
It's
saying so.
stupid.
Thank you for your
I don't know,
observation.
it's kind of class judgment on your cultural traditions. Like, to me, like crazy.
It's
Okay.
weird. It's weird.
Yes, it's a bit
So
weird.
basically what it's been what it is now is you have like certain like Thanksgiving foods. So like, and like everybody gets around and turkey's a big part of it, right? You have a holiday turkey and
Mashed potatoes, stuffing.
greens, beans, potatoes. I love that
Cranberry
song.
sauce.
Yeah, cranberry sauce, green bean casserole, sweet potatoes,
Gross.
mashed
Green bean
potatoes.
casserole.
My green bean casserole is phenomenal. Mine is phenomenal. I don't use
I've
that
never
canned
had
shit.
a green bean casserole before.
Well, in America, we do a lot of casseroles. I don't know how many casseroles we do.
And salads, which are actually just pastas with mayonnaise and other stuff.
Yes.
Oh.
We can make so
delicious.
many of those pastas.
It's delicious. It is phenomenal.
It really
and if you come to Colorado, I'll come up and meet you. I have a place. I have a place
Yeah,
to stay
well,
in Colorado, and
we'll
we will
make a
plan
thing
it.
of it.
And we'll have Thanksgiving at when you come. No, I'm just kidding. But I will make you.
We'll just make a bunch of casseroles.
We'll just make a bunch of casseroles. Welcome to America. Casseroles.
And maybe I can pardon a turkey.
Oh.
We got wild turkeys in Colorado because I'm sure you can find one. Yeah.
They're I just caught them on the wing today.
Yeah. So
shit everywhere. They're real cool to look at. They're like cool. They're dinosaurs, but they shit everywhere. And they're like to your mulch, like and get it everywhere. It's no, it's cool though. You can eat them, so it's all good.
You can't eat them. But yeah, that's Thanksgiving, Kate, in a nutshell. And then Black Friday, which in America, like, did anyone see any Black Friday videos this year? Because
Friday's like over. They killed it by
done.
opening the stores at like
12:01.
Yeah. It used to be they would open at like after midnight at some point, or like 1, 2, 3, or 4 o'clock in the morning. Adam and I used to go. We used to go. We would hang out at my parents' house, and then they would watch my daughter, and we would go for a couple hours, and we would just like we would have a couple drinks, and we would go around and shop. But where we live, it's not like chaotic. Like, there's a lot of people, but you're probably not going to see a fight. It's very much like, oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Excuse me, I'm sorry. But yeah, you can get some, like, besides like the big stuff, like the TVs and stuff, you can get really cool shit for cheap. We had like 10 kids to buy for. So we would go and get them like stuff that was normally $20. We'd get it for $5. We'd get them like board games and stuff But yeah. Oh, and Kohl's used to have comforters on sale for $20 for Black Friday, and I would get one every time I went. I have like 5 comforters.
That's a deal. That's a freaking deal, bro.
They were opening
then-
up earlier and earlier for like a couple years. They started everything cooking earlier and earlier, and like then now like no one cares
And
anymore.
then it was no fun. They took all the fun out of it.
No, people literally used to like, so they would eat Thanksgiving, Kate, right? And then nap and like take a long nap because they were going to be up at 2 in the morning to go shopping. People made t-shirts. Like they would make corresponding t-shirts for the group. I mean, it became an American thing, dude. And like, people would, it was crazy. Riveting Kohl's comforter. Dude, that's a good deal, man.
That is a good deal on comforters. It's great. Hex appreciates them.
But yeah, so that was like, right. So yeah, that was like, it was like an American thing for a few years there, especially whenever I was a kid in the 90s. It was like,
it was huge.
Intense.
Yeah.
It was freaking intense. And yeah,
The
Walmart
90s
would
were the glory days. Bring back the 90s. The world was a better place in the 90s, if you ask me.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
And Black Friday was funner. But now too, you could just get everything online.
I did all my Christmas. Everyone's done. I bought for everyone. It's over. My Christmas shopping's done. Because I'm not doing it. I'm not going shopping. I'm not going in a store. I'm not doing it. And so I told Duke, I was like, okay, this is going to be like a big day, right? A big spending day. But like, just so you know, like everybody's going to be bought for when I'm done. And we don't have to worry about it for a month. It just comes in. I wrap it. You don't have to worry about it. You don't even have to think about it. And he was like, deal.
I'm
and
not
so,
even close to done.
Yeah, it was and I got all the deals. I like knew what I was buying everybody. I like researched all the deals and I got some good ones, dude. I got some good ones.
I'm not gonna lie.
Randy just said make housewives throw hands over Beanie Babies again.
Oh my god,
dude.
Babies. Oh, it was so bad. It like I'll watch things on YouTube about stuff in the 90s, and every time the fucking Beanie Babies come up, so embarrassing. And I knew somebody who was into that. And she was a grown-ass woman, and I think if I had a Beanie Baby she wanted in my hand, she would beat me up for it. I really do. I think she would steal my Beanie Baby and she would hurt me.
Googling what a Beanie Baby is. I'm wondering if it's the same thing I think it is. Oh no.
The company was TY, right? It was
TY.
Yeah.
TY was the company name, and they're like, "Oh my god, these are going to be collector's items."
Oh,
My granny told me and my whole family that I'm gonna get these for CD, right? I'm gonna get these for her, and they're gonna pay for her college one day. So what I need to take a picture of it because I still have them. And when I say I still have them, I mean 3, 1, 2, 3, huge containers. I mean giant containers of these Beanie Babies that were supposed to pay for my college.
Yeah.
That I never got rid of, that are still in the attic. I don't know what I'm going to do with them.
Hey, maybe one day one day they will be worth money.
That's what they keep telling
me.
And I had the tag protect, because this is the thing, Kate. Like they came with a tag with a name, and it had the birth date in it and a little description of what the Beanie Baby was. Okay, and so and they weren't worth anything if these tags were at all damaged. So I had the little protectors, the little plastic protectors that you put the tag in for every single one of these motherfuckers. Okay. And I swear to God. And so they're still up there. They're still up there in the attic. One day they're going to pay for something. My parents just keep threatening they're gonna burn them if I don't come get them one day. You have your own house. They don't need to be here anymore. But yeah, dude, Beanie Babies, so 90s.
Are they worth
so
anything, or are
90s.
they worthless?
I think they're worth. I'm quite sure they're worthless. Maybe in another 20 years, they'll be worth something.
TY came out with a new thing, and it was these stuffed animals with like these sparkly,
yeah,
the big eyes and the sparkly shiny eyeballs. Yeah, my daughter has I think 10 of those.
Yeah,
I'm a little bit ashamed of that, but
no, don't be ashamed of that. That's okay. I'm just glad you didn't buy them.
Oh yeah,
I'm just glad you didn't buy them. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just saying I'm glad you didn't buy them with the anticipation of them being worth something one day. Just let her enjoy them.
She just liked them, and if we were somewhere that they were cheap, because some places they'll be like $15.99, and then other places you get them for like $3.99 or something. But yeah, I would get her them for her then. But
those things were like $25 in 1997.
That just goes to show how out of touch they were with how economies really work, and not just being propped up by fiat. Because they were like, oh yeah, no, like we know this is going to be the next big investment. Right? It's like,
dude, it was such a time to be alive, y'all. It was a time to be alive.
Yeah, that was crazy. There was I know there's been a lot of toys over the years, but I feel like, was it the Cabbage Patch Kids in the 80s that people were freaking out over? The fighting and
yes.
Well, so that's what I thought, Beanie. That's what I thought you were talking about, Cabbage Patch Kids. We have them in Australia, like with the really hard heads. They're like dangerous for kids. I think I remember hitting my head with one of them. That would knock a kid out.
Yeah, the Cabbage Patch. Yeah, they were a weapon. They were they could be a weapon.
Yeah, I have a few of those too. I had a few of those. I remember the one, she had the brown hair.
Yeah, you could customize them so they could even look like you a little bit, as much as a yarn haired doll can look like you, But and I had a matching pajama outfit with them. They're still at my parents' house. They got rid of basically everything, but they're still there.
I bet that was so cute. You need to find a picture of you in your matching pajama outfit with your Cabbage Patch Kid.
And the pajama outfit was Pound Puppies. It was so cute. It was
Pound Puppies. Yeah. I love those. They were so cute.
It was fun.
I want to get a Pound Puppy. Like a stuffed one, not a live one. I want to deal with more dogs, even though I only have one, but that feels like enough.
Sorry. I'm over here. A-Dubs is making fun of my small tits as usual. Over and around.
I was reading the YouTube.
Rude. One of these days I'm going to mute him. Just kidding.
Did you get a lot of flack for that picture, Forest Mummy?
For the forest one in the forest?
Did you post that after your campaign?
Well, I posted it. Yeah, I posted it way before I even campaigned. I posted it plenty of times on Twitter. It was actually got my thing banned because I had put it in my profile picture at one point, and then they banned me for a year during all the censorship and stuff. So it's not a brand new picture, but I was like, people do not know the composure and the I was so good for 8 months. 8 months. 8 months. That's a long time. So yeah, then I was like, all right, I'm still me. So it was so funny. The reactions people give to it, it's just such a funny psychological experiment accidentally too. Just the way different people Yeah. I don't care. This is the thing. It's like I know some people don't want to see other people naked and stuff, and I get it, but like that's my honesty. And now I'm like when I hang out around people, no, I know no one's fucking wondering, okay? And we're just like thinking about the important issues at hand, you know? So
You have a fair point with that. I
Mm.
understand that. There can't be any sexual tension if they've already seen you. So it's like,
yeah,
get that out the
Well,
way.
like kind of
Get
like
that out. Okay.
yeah.
I'm
So
just saying, like, it's like,
and that like
here's a picture. Okay. Anyway, liberty
Yeah.
and the Second Amendment. Like,
Yeah.
yes, I'm hot. I know it. Here's a pic. Anyway,
it was,
I
and
get
what
it.
was funny too
Yeah.
is there have been so many new people since I was running the campaign, so they didn't know like the sparkler video. They didn't know like I was kind of wild. So I think it was a little shock to some of them, and then I think the other ones were like, "Yeah, that's pretty cool." So it's all good. They're fine. Everyone's fine. At 1 year, 2 years ago, I printed out a copy of it and put it in a basket for a silent auction, like it was part of a basket. Someone paid there's booze in there. I put booze in there too. And someone paid $200 for it. So it's like
Wow.
that was a gift for that was for the convention. So
Mm.
anyways.
You're so generous. You should do that for this convention, like a full size.
Oh.
Hottest candidate ever.
100%.
On this in the northern hemisphere, how about you'll be the hottest in the southern and I'll be the hottest
Yep.
in the northern.
Okay, I'm
Hemisphere?
certified.
Is hemisphere the right word? Is that-
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm Southern Hemisphere. You're Northern. I have the Southern Cross as my lights in the sky.
Yes, and it's summer now for you. Or it's quite warm.
It's hot girl summer here.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
it's fucking
Alex,
cold as fuck here. What?
have you
What?
heard? Did you follow more of the night? I don't know. So Alice was in Niagara Falls right after that crazy accident where a car. I don't know if you saw where a car hit a thing at the border. And so Alice was like there like a couple days after. Have you found? I haven't followed the story at all.
The day after, and yeah, it was right by our hotel. Like we could look out our hotel window and see where that happened. And it was so funny talking to people because they're like, I mean, pretty much everybody knew it wasn't terrorism. And I guess because it was a Bentley and a couple in the car, and that news spread pretty quick because Niagara Falls is it's a pretty small town. And then where this couple was from is like a small town right by there. And they're like, yeah, we all knew it was them because nobody else around here drives a Bentley because so many people around there are like really poor. But yeah, they were like a really well-known couple. And like everybody like couldn't believe like how the news was saying it's terrorism. Oh, they found an Iranian passport. And I guess the lady was totally decapitated. Because there's like where that is, I mean, people work right there. So people were walking out and you could see their body parts just scattered. But yeah, apparently I don't know if it's true or not. This is just people that I talk to, but I would trust the locals of Niagara Falls before I trust like Laura Loomer or Charlie Kirk. But they said that the casino handed over their security footage and the 7-Eleven handed over their security footage. And then supposedly they were fighting at the casino. They went into the 7-Eleven and they fought there. And a couple people said that even if it was a suicide or on purpose in some way, that they're not going to let it out because that couple and that family is so predominant in that area that they wouldn't want to ruin the family name. But the one guy said to us, he's like, if you have a medical emergency, you're not going to be able to drive straight. And they were driving straight. Like you're going to lose control of the car. It's not going to just go in a straight line. But yeah,
Just take
We
yourself
almost didn't
out.
know.
Just take yourself out. If you want to take yourself out, don't
Yeah.
take anyone else with you, please. Like,
Or
I think
ruin
that's
Yeah, the
someone's
one guy
vacation.
said that couple's been having problems for a long time, that she wanted out, and
she must have been so terrible. He was like, no, nobody else can handle this. Just kidding. I bet A-dubs will like that one. Fucking misogynist.
So he did us a favor, maybe. Is that what you said?
that's so crazy.
I didn't hear about that
so
in
crazy.
Australia. We get a lot of American news, but we obviously don't get everything. Yeah, we always hear about the shootings. Conveniently, every time there's a shooting, it's like front page news in Australia, and then they trash your gun laws. Like, it's just propaganda. It's terrible.
Oh boy. Well, if only more gun laws would prevent more shootings, man. If only that worked. If only that worked.
That's
New York has strict gun laws, and that place is like, they have so many dangerous cities. Niagara Falls is one of the most dangerous cities in New York.
I believe that.
Yeah. I mean, around the falls is kind of safe. I want to go into like a parking garage at night. I may or may not hear a noise and go running back in while I'm smoking a cigarette out there. Not saying that happened. Might have happened.
Wow.
But yeah, like when you're coming into Niagara Falls, you feel like you're driving through basically a ghetto to get there.
Yeah,
the city itself is just awful. Well,
the shithole.
Yeah, even by the park now.
Yeah.
Even by like the park, it's gotten so like the Niagara Falls that you saw when you came here last year is a completely different Niagara Falls than what I grew up with. Like it was much more, it was nicer, it was more built up in that area. There's still like concerts and live music and stuff when you go in the summer, but yeah, it's nothing like it used to be. But they take the money from the Cave of the Winds, the Maid of the Mist, all those shops that are there are all on the state park, and they take it and they put it back into New York, but not Niagara Falls. It's all just government bullshit there.
Yeah, government, like New York State is terrible. First of all, and then anything that's not the city, so anything that's what they call upstate New York, and they don't give two shits. They do not give two shits. It's all, I mean, it's bad. It's bad. So yeah, I always imagined Niagara Falls was like great right there, nice hotels, like restaurants and shit, and then like the rest of it was just an absolute ghetto, like absolute ghetto.
Yeah, I got
out. And it wasn't like that before.
I didn't hang around. I just went to the falls, and then I got in the car and went.
Yeah. You hightailed it out of there. That's what you did.
I did.
Yeah. Coming in there is. It's shady. It's shady as fuck coming in there, but
Buffalo is shady. Elmira is shady. All of upstate New York is shit, dude. It's shit. Like, I mean, New York City is shit. I'm not saying that like New York City is great either. Ew. Couldn't pay me money. Could not pay me money.
I love the Statue of Liberty though. Like when I saw the Statue of Liberty, I cried. When I saw Grand Canyon, I cried. When I saw Niagara Falls, I got a little bit emotional, but I didn't cry. When I saw Ayers Rock or Uluru, I cried.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. Just don't stay for too long, I guess.
Yeah,
like those don't like go see the things.
It's so expensive there too. It's crazy, New York. Just what happened during COVID. Like that was terrible too. What they did to the people there.
Yeah, they were, it's bad. And that's why there's a mass exodus of those people, and they don't need to come to Florida. Stop coming to Florida. We're getting no more New Yorkers. Go somewhere else. Go to Georgia. Go to the Carolinas. Go to Illinois. Go Colorado. Don't come. We're talking to California too. Y'all don't come here. Y'all go Go to Nebraska. No, I heard Nebraska needs some people. Nebraska. I'm sure it's nice there. I'm sure it's really nice, and not Florida. Stay the fuck
I'm glad
out.
I live in a state that doesn't exist, so I don't have to worry about people coming here because it doesn't exist.
I'm gonna start pushing it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be like, hey, you know what? Ohio sounds like a great place for y'all motherfuckers to go.
Dude, no, I don't need-
This these Cal
Ah, 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 ah.
It says the California. Wait, hold on, I can't read. The California transplant in your small town who just voted for the most insane policies ever.
I don't want it. I don't want it.
It's so true. It's literally so true, too. And that's he's from Colorado, and that's these people are nuts out here. It's they're voting.
I'm
their
not
don't
sure I
want it.
want to go to Denver when I go to Colorado because I keep seeing people post stuff about Denver and even oh my god, I can't remember her name with the pink hair.
Karen Ann?
What's her name? Yeah. So like she's posted stuff about Denver and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like that was such a cute little like when I went to Denver, I was like this is such a nice city. Like we went shopping, we went out to eat. I've been there a couple times. I'm like, it's so cute here. It's so nice. And then
Just
I
go to
see
Colorado
pictures
Springs.
and I'm like, that's sad.
Colorado
That's
Springs.
so sad.
Go to Colorado Springs. Just hang out in and around
What? It's
there.
changed.
Just go to Colorado Springs.
Yeah, I've been looking at hotels and stuff. I usually
Boulder's pretty cool too. Boulder's cool. I like
Just
Boulder.
not the people. No offense.
Yeah, they suck. Yeah. I'm not talking about
They
people.
know
I'm just
they
talking
suck
about, like,
because, and they're like we smell our own farts kind of suck. You know it. So.
You know, like they're like the people. Okay, so if you've ever seen that episode of South Park when the people with the Prius come, that's
Yes.
Boulder people in Colorado. Yeah, that's like Boulder. That's Boulder people. They're like them Aspen people. Get fucked, dude. Get fucked. No one gives two shits what your goddamn zip code is. Get fucked, dude. Like, yeah, I don't like them.
Yeah.
But for the most part, Coloradans are really, really nice. They're really
Yeah.
nice people.
Yeah.
Just
yeah,
not
most
there.
yeah.
That's why I can't give up.
I don't
I'm
remember
like,
anything
I'm not
bad.
giving up. I gotta fight.
No, Colorado's so cool and it's really nice and like
And you
Colorado
saw that
is
spot.
like
You saw the forest spot. Like
yeah,
that's.
of course, yeah,
You can imagine that's like something that I want to fight for. We'll fight
of
for
course,
it.
yeah. And like where my parents are at, like it's super nice and
Colorado
like
Springs is
like
so nice too because a lot like you're way closer to the mountains there, and it's just like pretty view everywhere. I love it.
beautiful. Yeah, my parents can see Pikes Peak on their balcony. You know, like it's beautiful, and Garden of the Gods is right there, and it's really really nice. And like Manitou Springs is real hippy dippy, whatever if you're into that kind of shit. But it is cool, and it's cool, and they have the best water. I've just never tasted water out the ground
seltzer
like
water.
that.
Yeah, they have
That's so
Manitou
good.
Springs, Colorado. If anyone's ever been there, there's seltzer water, so it's like seltzery, but it's a natural spring that is seltzer water. So you can drink it there. It's like Old Town. It's right on the edge of the mountain too. It's like built into the mountain, and you can get
It's cute.
Yeah, it's really cute.
I stayed as like girl. I was staying right by that water fountain. Like it just like they have a water fountain like right there in the middle of downtown. And like man, I just stayed there with my water bottle. I just kept drinking it. I was like, this stuff is. And then they even have a sign that says you shouldn't drink too much of this stuff. And I'm like, I can't get enough of it. It's so good. It's so good.
The worst they can do is it cleans you out. It's good to have a good
yeah, right,
right.
So no, and Colorado's like cowboys, dude. Like think like that's where like freaking cowboys. You know, they would bring they're just ranches. Like that's Coloradans. Like not the Prius driving.
I need to say something about this really quick. I'm doing my volunteering with the National Western Sock Show this January. I'm going back to something that I haven't done since 2020 because of all the fucking bullshit that happened, obviously. And so I'm going back. I know it sounds dorky, but it's like emotional. I love it.
So what is it that you're doing?
So we have this big thing out here called the National Western Stock Show, and it's kind of like just a big stock show, like actual stock show, animals, and then there's like horse shows and rodeos and just all sorts of different, and then like a trade show and all sorts of everything. So, and I volunteered it up, and I did it. The last year I did it was 2020. We all didn't die in January. It always happens in January. So January 2020, we did it, and COVID was here, and we all didn't die. So like it was well. So then they canceled 2021, and then 2022 they're doing it again. So I was getting ready to go back, and they promised that we wouldn't have to wear masks. And then at the last minute, the volunteers had to wear masks. And I was like, fuck no. So
You lowly peasants.
yeah, I'm like, and it was funny because they literally like it's kind of quasi governmental and it's part of Denver, so that's why they like have to follow those rules. They're like, you don't have to tell anyone to put masks on, but you as a volunteer have to wear a mask. And I was like, oh, I'm not doing that. So then my heart was like broke. Then my heart was like broken, and so I skipped last year. I was like, I can't do it. So this year, and I think even if I had one, I'd still maybe do it because you can do like you don't have to do a ton. I would like to do a ton, but because I can, but it's fine. There'll be tons of pictures, so I'll put it up on there. It'll be great.
Cool.
Isn't it so fun?
They just brought back in mask mandates here for the hospitals. And funnily, when I flew to America last year, as soon as I got on the plane in Sydney, we could take our mask off because it's international airspace. But in the airport on Australian soil, we had to have masks on.
It's so logical.
And then on my way back, flying back from America, as soon as I stepped on the plane in California, we had to put our masks on because we were flying in Australian airspace. Like, it just, the whole COVID charade, like, give it up. If you want to wear a mask, go for it. I'm not really about it. It doesn't really do anything for me. So, crazy.
I'll publicly shame someone for wearing a mask, and I don't care.
Yeah.
This is fucking Florida. Take that shit off, right? You know what that means? You're ugly because it's hot as fuck down here all the time. So if you wear a mask in Central Florida at any point, it's because you are ugly. Period. Take it off. Let us see your face. Because otherwise, because it's hot. It's way too hot to be wearing that, to be caring that much, dude. Karen. You're a Karen.
COVID Karens, yeah. Yeah, you see them here. It's so sad when they're wearing them out in public, like by themselves, riding a bike. I literally saw that yesterday on my walk, and I just felt so sad for them.
It is sad. It is sad and dumb.
Yeah. They are retarded.
They are retarded. I wish it would just wear this mask that says they should just make them like universally, and it just says virtue signal, like because that's all this is. That's all this is. So just wear your virtue signal, your bat signal of virtue. Fine, whatever. And
it should always been this way. Where if they wanted to fucking wear it, fine. They look like fucking idiots, and I'm gonna make fun of them, right? But like, it's fine. I'm not gonna make you take it on or off or whatever. So, but no, they had to try to put us through a humiliation ritual. They're like, it's like no wonder they're all pro-Palestine right now because they make their women wear things, right? So it's here we go. Like that was
that's terrible. That's like we're having protests in like Australian cities about that stuff. Like they were at Sydney Opera House in the harbour saying like gas all the Jews in Australia in 2023. It's like,
what is going on? It's also coordinated.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah. What does that got to do with Australia? What's that got to do with Australia?
We're taking over like Denver. I saw it happen at a bunch of different a larger city council meetings, and they came in and just took over and just like we're talking over there. Just it's like, what's Denver gonna do about the situation?
Well, there's apparently you got some retard in your state house that
They're always like a
That's
couple.
fair. Okay, that's fair. You're right. You're right. That was way too general. That was way too general. I apologize. You're
Yeah,
right.
but yeah.
This one in particular, he's a young man. I think he's young. I don't know. Whatever.
Oh, the long
And he
hair.
has,
With the
huh?
long hair. Does he have
Yeah,
long
that
hair?
guy. Yeah,
Yeah, Mr.
that
Tim
one.
Hernandez, who was
That's that guy.
he
That's
was a
that guy.
Democratic socialist. He's in the Democratic Socialists of America, and he got fired from teaching for some reason, and then
I
he
wonder.
wasn't even elected. So there's all these Democratic Socialists on our state house that weren't elected, but then when there'd be a vacancy, the committee would place them in. So they're placing all these idiotic activists. And the one girl, did you see the girl yelling from
Yes.
her? But so I'm like, when I start showing up down there more, I'm gonna be way more better behaved than that, okay? And they're gonna have to put up with me. I don't want any trouble, like I'm not gonna pull any bullshit that bad, right? So it's wild. It's what and they're doing it on purpose. It's all if
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
gross, whatever. It is all fucking coordinated because it's
But like that guy, that Hernandez character, what I was getting at, Kate, is that he is like super pro Palestine. And I'm like, bro, you are in the Colorado State House. What does that have to do with Palestine? And I looked it up The Palestinian population of his district is like none. So there's no, you don't represent any Palestinians. You represent Coloradans. And I don't understand what you're like. He has a Palestinian flag on his desk in the state house.
yeah,
Like, what?
the American
Like,
one.
what?
Like one of our senators in Australian politics, a Green senator, literally got up and called for Australian taxpayers to pay repatriations to Pakistan for climate change. What do you think gives you the right to use my money to pay for, because she's Pakistani descent? Like that to me, that's like, that's not representing Australia at all. Like, it's treason.
That math ain't mathing. That
Me?
look what I'm talking about. Look.
This
I'm not
fucking dork.
shitting you, dude. What a dork. What a dork.
fucking
I hope,
dork.
oh
The
man.
American flag and replaced it with the Palestinian flag. Wow. See, treason. Go.
He got his pronouns in his bio too. So he
And
was,
like I'm not
look.
super like on once I'm my brain can't even comprehend that shit, and I don't want to be involved. I know I hate governments, be that Israeli or Hamas, whatever. So
Right.
Yeah.
all of it.
he yeah, it's just it has nothing to do with
And we're all anti-war. Like we're all staunchly, like first and foremost, anti-war. So like I don't want to be involved. Like whatever they got going on over there, that's unfortunate, and I'm so sorry. And babies shouldn't have to die. I don't believe babies should have to die. I don't care what color they are. I don't care what religion they are. I don't care. All babies' lives matter. All babies' lives matter. I mean, except for no, I'm just kidding. And like, so like, I just, I don't want any babies to die. You know what I mean? And like, your governments make babies, they kill babies. So, don't do it. And I don't want to be involved, and I don't want my tax money involved. And yes, we get it to Israel, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't want that either. I don't want that either. So, I don't know. I'm not for any of it. And definitely just think that if you belong to a state house in the United States, you shouldn't have you can have an opinion, sure, but like, that shouldn't be what you literally go to the floor and talk about.
Right.
We have enough of our own problems that they need to be sorting out. Like that, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like,
Ask Force Mommy. She can name you a whole list of them, of things that the Colorado State House should be focused on.
And I shared it. They're doing a gun buyback. The fucking commies who are complaining about genocide in Palestine, they're doing a gun buyback. And they want to.
They're doing that here too. Gun confiscation, another one. Like, that's what I said to them. It's a waste of money. And who are you trying to protect? Like, these people.
Yeah. These people. I'm like, you're crying about genocide and you're trying to disarm the people. Like, how stupid are you? Like, how much of an actor and just a placement are you? Because it's like you're openly being so very fucking stupid that I can't.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible, y'all. And and like, we see that through them. Like we know, like I see you, and what is hard for people, especially like us, that do see it, is to be like, why don't these other people see this? This is you're so transparent. They are so transparent, and it takes very little brain work, but like I'm sure Kate realized on her election, Boris mommy realized on her election, people don't like choice. People don't want they want they want their whole thing to be chosen
They were
for them.
too intimidated by my beauty. It's okay. Like, I get
Well, I mean,
I'm
that
just
goes without
telling you
saying.
that it's
That
like-
goes without saying.
Why didn't he get elected? They were too intimidated by my brains and beauty.
happens all the time. It's understandable.
Yeah, they
I
don't
can't
want,
help it that I'm so popular.
they don't want personal responsibility. I feel like that's what it is. They want to like say, "Oh, I'll give everything over to the government, and then I don't have to be responsible. I'm absorbing
Yes.
my responsibility. You deal with it, and then when it all stuffs up, it's your fault." No, like let's take our own power back. Let's be responsible for ourselves. Let's be responsible for our money. Let's look after each other as a community. We don't need big government or big brother coming in.
No, we don't.
We don't.
I'm studying to be a teacher, Kate. That's what I'm gonna do, and I should be able to start applying in January. And yeah, so I see that with their kids, right? Like people's children. They're just like, here, state entity,
Yeah.
take my kids for 8 hours a day and raise them, and I'm not gonna be responsible for them. So however they behave, it's your fault because you don't raise my kids right. And so when the teachers are like, hey, little Timmy is a fucking nightmare and he takes up 75% of my day because I spend 75% of my day just trying to make him shut the fuck up so that I can do my job. And the parents are like, what are you doing to help little Timmy? And she's like, I'm just trying to survive, little Timmy. And then you have good teachers who really do try, who really do put in effort, and then parents that don't care. And then you have teachers that just don't care because they get paid whether or not these kids pass or don't pass or do well or don't do well. And they just don't care. And then you've got the other aspect of like groomer teachers, which is insane to me, which is so crazy that they're not in jail. That's just bizarre to me. In Florida, you can't be doing that. In Florida, they will arrest your ass. So thank God for that. In Florida, like as a teacher, I legally cannot use a pronoun for a student that is not on the gender of their birth certificate. So like by using if let's say I had a student, let's say I was one of those teachers and I had a student that was decided they were going to be, I don't know, a cat or whatever, and they wanted to be it. And I was like, no, you're not an it. You're a girl and you're a she. And if I were to use it and the parents found out that I used it, they could sue me. I could get in trouble. So,
see, in Australia, in one state, Victoria, it's the opposite. If a kid comes in and says, I want to be referred to as it or a cat, the teacher legally has to say, okay, you're a cat today. And the parents aren't even allowed to question it. That's how far the other way it's gone in some Australian states. Whereas I feel like kids, like libertarians, we protect the children,
at all costs. At all costs. Yeah. No, I'm a big that's my hill is kids.
Same.
That's why I decided to be a teacher. No. We can't. That's my line. Like you can't guns. They take your guns so they can take your kids. Period. So they can control your children so that they can mold them into being whatever they want them to be. Alice has a lot of experience in this. She had to deal with the public school system. And it's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. And I just
now.
Yeah, her kids are homeschooled. So, It's a travesty. It's a real and I'm not saying public school. Public school has probably always been a joke, but like now it's just terrible. It's just and what they're allowed to do. And so yeah, so I'm thankful I live in Florida. I'm thankful that I'll be a teacher in Florida where we have some protections where I don't no. And I believe in last names. I was referred to by my last name in school forever. It was if it wasn't Miss McRae, it was just McRae. Like, like it was just there wasn't any of this foolishness. And that's when I'm a teacher, that's what I'm going back to. Last names. Just last name. Like I'm not even playing this game. Huh?
You're not gonna be a mix McRae, like how they'll be like, I'm not a Mr. or a Mrs. I'm a mix, and I'm just like, oh my god.
All right, well, sir, mix a lot. Sit your ass down. That's what I'm talking about.
Some of these teachers get way too much enjoyment out of confusing the kids. Like you see their little TikToks and stuff, and they're like laughing and getting this joy out of confusing young children. I'm like, you're not funny at all. Like that's just me.
Let me find out. Let me find out it's in my school. Let me find out. I'll walk in there with my phone and call CPS. So you need to. You need to get the sheriff. You need to get the sheriff's office in here. Yeah. You need to get the fire me. You know what I mean? Fire me. I'm not here. My purpose is not just to be in a classroom to collect a paycheck. My purpose is to protect these kids. So, I'll get libs of TikTok. I'll get gays against groomers. I'll get all them people involved. Like we will get a bitch fired. I will get them fired. And they can fire me, fine. But at least I know the kids don't have that anymore. They don't have to put up with that. That's what's important.
Yeah, it's insane. Some of these teachers, it's weird.
It's sick.
Like, but teaching kids stuff is confusing enough, especially the English language. And I didn't think about it till I had kids of my own. And then there's like there, and there, where and where.
It's hard. It's really hard.
And trying to and people that I've talked to from different countries would tell us like how confusing our language can be. And then the slang that we have. And sometimes with Scar, when she was younger, I would be like, oh my God, this is like so frustrating to teach her this stuff. And then people want to make it even more confusing for kids and be like, well, even though I totally look like a girl and I'm totally a girl, I'm non-binary. And today I feel like being called a boy. Like, life is already confusing enough to teach kids.
Yeah, they don't need to be talking about any of that. None of that. None of that's got anything to do with anything. That is between the parents who need to be parenting, and the kid, and hopefully a therapist or a preacher, a church.
One you can trust too.
Somebody, yeah. One you can trust. Yeah.
Not like, no, we're gonna put them on like 50 drugs and then
not an affirming therapist, like a real, actual gives a shit therapist.
I noticed a lot of therapists that I looked around here that are for kids would say like they do gender affirming care, and that's just so weird to me because I would be more accepting if you said I deal with gender dysphoria. But gender affirming says to me, I'm going to affirm as a therapist a child's gender instead of like helping them figure out whatever they're going through.
Yeah, when I grew up, like, because I'm a bit of a tomboy, that's just what it was. Like, I would go out hunting with my dad. I would go kick the soccer ball, but I was always still a girl. So
yeah.
Tomboy.
Yeah. That's good.
Like
we need to save the tomboys.
Yeah, save the tomboys. That's
save the tomboys. Yes. And don't trans. We need to stop transing.
Yeah.
Don't trans the gay away. It's okay if this person's gay. Fine. I've long since whatever. Fine. Who cares? But don't then make them like, oh well, if you are an effeminate male, that makes you a girl. And it's
or
like,
gay.
You're just gay. Then just be gay. Just be gay. Like that's fine.
Like, the personality. Yeah, they made it more binary and like not real and human, like
Right.
more robotic, where it's like we
Yes.
didn't people were lighting the loafers, bitches were
Exactly.
dykes. Like it was
Yes.
fine.
Yes. Yes. And like I remember
And
this one.
everywhere in between.
Yes.
There's everything
Yes.
in between, and no one cared.
Yep. When this kid in pre-K wanted to come, he was a boy and he wanted to come play in the girls' part in the pre-K classroom with like all the dolls and stuff. We didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
It
And
was like he
now,
likes to play with dolls. Okay. And like, yeah, lo and behold, he's gay. Ha ha. And like, but like no one tried to be like, oh, well, you're a girl.
Mm.
It was just like he likes to play with Barbies.
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I don't like. No one thought anything about that. And then eventually, you know, when we got into junior high, we learned what gay means, and we were like, oh, well, that's probably where that's going. But like, FM said, maybe a little light in the loafers, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. But don't make it to where then it's like she said, then it's binary. Oh well, if you're into Barbies, well then your kid's probably a girl. What?
They were teaching that at school. There's a unicorn one and a genderbread man, and they're like, if they were like saying secondary sex characteristics. So like, if you're a little hairier, maybe you're a boy. You know, just all these very normal things that like people used to get made fun of, and now these people are like pointing it out, making them feel awkward about it, just in a different way, right? Like
you got bullied for it, but that's normal. Everyone gets bullied for something. Like
my sister and her kids are also Italian looking, so the girls got, they got some stuff, right? And it's like they're not men at all. They're just Italian, okay?
I'm half Italian, so I can relate. Yeah.
I'm half Sicilian, but I got all the blonde genes, and everyone else I'm like the only blonde, and like who knows what happened. So
yeah, who knows what happened?
I'm the only one with small boobs too. That was the best one to come on in.
Well, damn it!
You can't win them all.
You can't. So,
well, it's been almost an hour and a half. I have to do dinner and stuff eventually. You guys, cool.
Yeah, I haven't ate yet. I'm gonna go eat.
Hey, I'm so glad you came on. The time worked out.
I know. I'm gonna have you on my show, you guys. I've got my own little podcast, Shooting the Breeze with Lady Liberty. It's just an hour where I have like interesting people on and talk about anything really. So I want to have like you guys on.
Holla at us.
Yeah. I would love to have you. You seem so cool. I can't wait to meet everyone in person. I've got to get to America like I'm an American woman trapped in an Australian body.
You can do it.
Actually, someone at work yesterday was like, oh my God, I can see you like in California on the beach. I'm like, not California. But thank you for the compliment. Florida Beach. That's where you
Florida.
That water's warmer anyways.
It is warmer and it's beautiful.
I haven't been to Florida, but I've been to the Atlantic Ocean, and yeah, it's warmer.
It's
much
wonderful.
warmer.
Yeah, Pacific Ocean's way too cold.
It is really cold. That was the first ocean I ever went in. Seaweed wrapped around me. I ran out screaming. It was a whole scene.
I went to the Atlantic City for a warp tour, like the last ever warp tour. So, it was so fun.
Heck yeah.
East Coast. Yeah, I'm an East Coast
cool.
now. I'm going to get over there.
Yeah.
Next year, for sure.
Awesome.
So you want to give me a job.
Put it out there. Everybody hears. Everybody who is watching. Everybody knows that somebody. This is networking 101. Tell people.
Help your girl out.
Yeah, I'm Australian. I need refugee status in America. Yeah.
That's what you need. That's what you need.
Once you have a visa or whatever, you just overstay it like everybody fucking else. So it's fine. It's no big deal.
Exactly. I feel like I'm already on a list. I'm definitely on some list.
Do you have any plugs or is your, I don't know if you have a station where is that at your YouTube station
That's
too?
and
Okay.
just Lady Liberty Australia. I've got my own website, ladyliberty.com.au, where you can find all my stuff. But yeah, I'll be doing more of my show and holding this government to account on this gun stuff, like trying to fight, telling people not to give up their guns because we've got the next gun confiscation coming up next year. I'm going to fight that. I'll do what I can while I'm here, but yeah, I want to come to the States. That's my goal.
Awesome.
Thanks for letting me hang out with you.
Yeah,
Thanks for
It was
coming.
fun.
It was so fun.
Do you guys have anything to plug or add?
No. Just come follow me because it's fun. Follow Alice because she's awesome.
I don't say
Yeah.
much on Twitter. But when
Shut-
I do,
I'm trying to plug you, Alice. Shut-
interesting things in the world.
It is. I agree, Alice. I agree. So y'all go follow her. So when she's a woman of few words, but when she talks, you know what I mean? So go follow her.
Well,
Go
on
follow Alice.
Twitter, I'm a woman of few words. Get me on a stream. Then I'll have plenty to say.
Well, you won't know about the stream unless you go follow Alice. So go follow her.
Exactly.
All right, y'all.
Well, thanks for everyone for watching. Have a good rest of your Thursday and the rest of your Friday in Australia. And thanks everybody.
Everyone.